Merhaba sevgili oyundaşlar, YouTuber amca kanalından herkese selamlar, sevgiler. Kanalıma hoş geldiniz sevgili dostlar. Yeni bir seriye başlıyoruz. Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishments. Sherlock Holmes deyince tabii ki cinayet davaları, Sherlock Holmes'un meşhur cinayeti çözme teknikleri, ipuçlarını birleştirme teknikleri aklımıza geliyor. Ben kendi adıma cinayet romanlarını, cinayet filmlerini çözmeyi, izlemeyi ve çözmeyi, katili bulmaya, yaklaşmayı, o heyecanı tatmayı oldukça çok seviyorum. Şimdi sizlerle beraber, Sherlock Holmes'le beraber davalara bakacağız. Bakalım ne kadar cinayet çözmede başarılı olacağız. Holmes'le beraber yardımcısı Watson'un yerine geçerek ona ne kadar yardımcı olacağız, çözümde ne kadar destek olacağız, hep birlikte göreceğiz. Haydi bakalım ilk davamızı alalım. Şöyle bir bakmıştım. Başlayalım. Ukraynalı yüz cennetliklerin anısına. Frogwise Presence'ın Sherlock Holmes. Herhalde yani Dr. John Watson. Lestrade. Müfettiş Mrs. Hudson. Mikrofon kardeşi. Evet. Gelsin bakalım ilk davamız. Kara Peter'in kaderi. İlk davamız Kara Peter'in kaderiymiş. Bakalım nasıl bir dava, neler olacak. Evet, devam edelim. Silah sesi mi bu? Holmes'un evi. Ne yapıyorsun Holmes?
Will you stop that? You are utterly mad.
Olaya bir...
Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Aynen, öldürüyordum biz Holmes.
I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet please. I'm trying to concentrate.
Sağlamadım. Kelepçe çıngırdaması. Polis memuru. 9. adımdan kaçınıldı. Müfettiş Lestrade.
Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here? Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only
Ortada biraz
exercise I've
dağıttık.
had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. Many
Neşir
men
adamlar yine
strayed.
saldırmış.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
Aynen, tek başımıza çözeriz. Dava defterine ve sorgudaki anlık gelişiminiz, görevlileri, kanıtları ve benzeri kontrol etmek için tab tuşuna basın. Delil. Peter Carey, namı diğer Kara Peter. 1845'te doğdu, şimdi 50 yaşında. İskandinavya'da balık balina avında büyük başarılar elde etti. 1884'te emekli olmuş. Ve Woodman's Lee'ye yerleşmiş. Okay. Görevler. Peter Carey'nin cinayetini araştır. Woodman's Lee'deki cinayet mahallini incele. Kendi dolabından giyecek bir ceket seç ve Woodman's Lee'de destekte katıl. Okay. Önce üstümüzü bir değiştirelim.
My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
Güzel, sade ve şık bir oda. Sabahlık. Denizci kıyafeti. Serbest takım. Gündelik takım. Siyah takım. Kahverengi takım. Yeşil takım. Gri takım. Gri takım hoşuma gitti. Tamam. Okey. Yok, gözlük istemiyorum. Aha. Yok. Bu böyle şey vardı. Agatha Christie'nin Herkül Poirot'su. Onda böyle bıyıkları şeydi. Yok. Ha, bu daha iyi. Tamam. Niye şey yapmadı? Tamam. Sadece takımı giyebiliyoruz.
This is where I keep my post.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
Watson, fikrini değiştiriyor mu?
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
Tamam. O zaman biz cinayet mahalline gidelim bakalım. İlk davamızda neler bulacağız, neler olacak? Okey, daha bir çıkarım yapmadık çünkü davaya daha yeni başladık ve ne olduğunu çözmeye çalışıyoruz.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
Resirayet, orada mısın? Tamam, geliyorum.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Okay. Anlat bakalım şimdi davayı
Inspector
Resirayet.
Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Ceset ne zaman bulundu? Bahçıvanınız var mı? Peki bir ceset ne zaman bulundu? Onu
Do
bir
you
soralım.
remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... Oh dear.
Ulan dışı bir şey gördünüz
can
mü?
you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
The
Bahçıvanınız
garden
var
is
mı?
very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, well, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
Cinayetten önceki akşam
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Thank you, madam. You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
kaç?
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Ya bu
Thank you, madam.
Judith tepeli baştan kara kuşlarına bulunabileceği İskoçya'da Strip ve çam ormanları yakın bir köydendi. Dindardır genç bir kız iken kompostayla kaderini Aziz James yoluna haç vazifesini yerine getirmiştir. Judith Carey, Peter ile olan mutsuz evliliği yüzünden zor bir hayat geçirmiş. Dindar gençliğinde Aziz James yolunun haccını gerçekleştirmiş olan Katolik bir kadındır. Bitti. Bana bir müsaade. Ben şu
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
aynen öyle.
These footprints appear to be quite large. It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Okay, let's try it.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
Okay, bir bakalım.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see. These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Dün gece
Well,
gelmiş.
he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
Oo,
What a terrible way to die.
aynen öyle. Ölmek için çok kötü bir yol. Zıpkın mı o? Zıpkınla şey yapılmış.
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps.
Burada bir kutu veya sandık varmış. Bu alınmış.
The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches. Dundee. Dundee. Hammerfest. It's a whaling map.
Zaten balina avcısı, eski balina avcısı olduğunu biliyoruz. Balina dişi, rafı baktık.
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
Carrie'nin raflarının birinde toz izi. Oradan yakın zamanda bir şey alınmış. İzlerimi yaratıyor. Kitaptan büyükçe, kutuya da ufak bir sandık olabilir diyor. Kayıtları raflara istiflenmiş. Kara peter, pelina ve deniz ayısı avlarının kayıtlarını taşıdığında şüphe yok. Kimliği belirsiz bir ayak izi. Woodsman Lane'deki ıslak olan toprak kısmında kime ait olduğu bilinmeyen ayak izleri var. Katil tarafından bırakılmış olabilirler. Belki onlarla eşleşebilecek bir çift bot bulabilirim. Okey. Sıkkınlar.
For hunting whales. Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8.
Okay.
Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting. The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded.
Sea Unicorn. Okay, tamam.
The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
Yani onu göğüsten çıkartabilmek için bayağı bir güçlü, kuvvetli birinin olması gerekir.
This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. This wooden handle is plain and solid. This wooden handle is plain and solid. This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed.
Okay.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
JHN.
JHN are probably... The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey. These abbreviations mean something, but what? Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
Okay, şimdi şu masaya da bir göz atalım.
Someone drank from this glass recently. Someone drank from this glass recently. Rum. A sailor's drink.
Rum.
It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death. The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work. This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my association.
Sanki şu tarafa doğru gelirse
Yes, this is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
Deniz ayısı derisinden yapılma tütün kesici. Peter'ın barakasının içinde bulunan, üzerinde kabaca C harfleri yakılarak yazılmış bir denizcinin işi. Okey. Restraich. Bir dakika, seninle konuşmadan önce
These boots don't match the footprints.
Başka biri daha varmış, evet.
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky.
And why is that?
Because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oh, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
Evet, bir yer bulalım o zaman.
Mr. Holmes?
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin.
Tamam.
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
Did you hear that? There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there.
Koş koş, ben de gideceğim, dur. Kaçırmayın.
All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Öyle, herkes ben masumum der yani.
And what are you doing in his cabin?
Kimse ben öldürdüm, işte
You
ben
came to
cinayet
retrieve
işledim
what was
demez.
lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't.
CHN, John Hopley Nelligan.
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't.
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't. I'm not. It's a terrible mistake.
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But
in light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector. But please don't be too hard on our young fellow.
Aynen, biz de
I would like
sorgulamak
to question
istiyoruz.
him tomorrow morning.
Evet sevgili dostlar. Kara Peter'ın ilk davamızda Kara Peter'ın ölümüyle ilgili araştırmalarımıza devam ediyoruz. Uyuyakalanan genç çocuğun olayla ilgisi neydi? Gerçekten ölümle bir ilgisi var mı yok mu? Bunu bir sonraki bölümde öğreneceğiz. Sherlock Holmes'le beraber. O zaman bir sonraki bölümde görüşmek dileğiyle, her şey gönlünüzce olsun diyorum. Her zaman olduğu gibi en güzel günler, en güzel geceler sizinle birlikte olsun. Kapanış sözümüz neydi sevgili dostlar? Oyunsuz kalmayın. YouTuber amca kanalında kalın. Sizleri çok seviyorum. Hoşça kalın sevgili dostlar.